The rise of the Matariki in mid-June marks the beginning of the Māori New Year, a time for celebration, reflecting and planning.
If it rises clear and bold, then hei kai hau kai te tau, we expect prosperity in that upcoming year. The Regional Hawke's Bay Economic Development Strategy and Action Plan, titled Matariki, seeks to engage every household and every whānau in contributing to and benefiting from a thriving Hawke's Bay economy.
We believe our planned change initiative sits well in this space, and for the stars to align for prosperity in our region, we need to enable and progress a new era of connectivity and collaboration between our stakeholders.
The glimmer of light created by thought leaders and champions in digital technology and futurist education, along with the inaugural MindLab by Unitec postgrad, requires leadership to continue, and that is the basis for this initiative.
The broader contextual motivation for this has been a push in the last 15 or so years for a need to change the current education system. There are numerous challenges to overcome, particularly in the disconnect between current passive forms of learning and the 21st century skills and attributes needed for the future. Particular focus is given to the use of digital technologies as an enabler and to the power of collaboration.
As touched on by the MindLab leadership notes, leading through change requires a thoughtful approach, vision, respect and understanding for those fearful of change. It requires a well-planned and executed process that includes operations, systems, logistics, and a well-defined and transparent roadmap to success.
To this end, the overarching leadership model we are following is that of servant leader. As defined by Robert K. Greenleaf, servant leadership begins with the natural feeling that one wants to serve first. We are wanting to serve the Hawke's Bay community by enabling the glimmer of progress to become a clear and bold, sustainable vision for the future.
Essentially, it is about connecting a community. In our different and diverse roles within the Hawke's Bay, we have observed many consumers, stakeholders, and potential contributors becoming increasingly aware of the need to be more intentional in facilitating education through the 21st century. We believe our coordinated initiative will maximise connectivity.
Collaborative leadership is defined by a process rather than by what leaders do. It is much in common with both servant leadership and transformational leadership. It starts, according to David Crisplip and Carl Larson, from the premise that if you bring the appropriate people together in constructive ways with good information, they will create authentic visions and strategies for addressing the shared concerns of the organisation or community.
The leadership styles we have previously and instinctively employed have been the transformational and participative styles. While these were appropriate for our Leadership One initiative, this is an entirely different project, and one which we believe requires a values-based transformational leadership approach. Values-based leadership is leadership which leads you to do the right thing, not necessarily the easy thing.
Frost believes this type of leader must be courageous. Their vision will regularly differ from those who prefer the easier, well-travelled route, or even perhaps the status quo. He goes on to say that the values-based leader should demonstrate a humility and the ability to cope with the ambiguity of a situation and to learn through the process. These traits he describes as essential. To role model your values to others, which brings an authenticity to your leadership.
In our transformational leadership role, we seek to generate creative ideas to resolve the disconnect between our current education system and the world we are expecting our children to contribute to and thrive in. This style of leadership enables us to critically reflect and analyse the problems and to consider the ideas and views of all and to pursue equitable solutions for all our learners.
Neither Ange or I have ever been involved in a project of this magnitude and regularly reflect if in fact we are the right people to do it. The traits and behaviours that follow will facilitate the success of our initiative. Humility, courage, integrity, enthusiasm, authenticity and likability. These are the traits and behaviours we believe we have. They represent the essence of the value-based leader. It is important to point out here that neither of us are bringing any hidden agendas to this project. There is no personal gain to be had from the success or otherwise of the plan.
Frost goes on to suggest, for each of us to be successful value-based leaders, we must reflect on the following 3 questions. 1. Are we willing to learn in this dynamic and challenging environment? 2. Are we able to lead? Do we want the responsibility, and can we afford the time? And 3. Do we have the knowledge to lead the change? As a result of this planning process, we are confident we can respond positively to questions 1 and 3, but realise we both need to reflect deeply and be brutally honest with ourselves and those we are collaborating with on our response to question 2.
Frost concludes that, quote, "Our experience of working with many organisations in a variety of sectors across the world shows that the most successful, sustainable and enjoyable organisations to work for put time and energy into developing a strong values-based culture."
The influences, relevant research and implementation tools which have been a catalyst for our initiative are many and varied. As mentioned, we have felt the stars beginning to align and the momentum for change take hold from a range of sectors, organisations and levels. Both the MindLab postgraduate curriculum and the core education trending issues for 2016 reflect and support the critical areas for change in education today.
These organisations are both supporting and promoting the 6 21st century skills identified by the mega-analysis of current research by Microsoft ITL. These include use of ICT, collaboration, communication, knowledge construction, real-world problem-solving, and self-regulation.
The Ministry draft document for 2025, titled Lifelong Learners in a Connected World, depicts and confirms many of the themes and sentiments held by ourselves and upheld by the MindLab and Core Education. The Ministry of Education have gone further now with their vision for 2018, released and displayed on the website in July this year. Here they acknowledge that our curriculum is changing, and Minister Parata formally announced that technology be fully integrated to support young people to develop skills, confidence, and interest in digital technologies which lead them to opportunities across the IT sector.
EIT is the sole tertiary provider with a physical campus here in Hawke's Bay. The vision of their strategic plan for the 2015 to 2019 year is engage, inspire, transform students, communities, worlds, with the overarching mission to provide high quality, relevant and accessible tertiary education for the well-being of our students, whānau and communities. Of their 6 strategic priorities, 3 in particular align with what we are proposing: connectedness, smart thinking and student success. We have already engaged in discussion with key personnel from EIT at our first initial focus group meeting and are continuing to work closely with them to help develop our plan.
The Matariki Hawke's Bay Regional Economic Development Strategy and Action Plan, Section 2, is titled Improve Pathways to and Through Employment. Section 2.9, Potential Action, reads, Explore, design and deliver a future-focused program including digital enablement and internet-based technologies to develop a resilient population who can thrive in an uncertain future. Our initiative assists in the exploration component and has potential to contribute to the design and delivery phase of the economic plan.
And finally, Kotta's 8-step change model has been a useful framework to use as a type of touchstone to help guide us through this process.
The Agile Manifesto reflects that the best architectures, requirements and designs emerge from self-organising syndicates. It has been remarkable that throughout this process, a developing network of passionate individuals has evolved, each adding a unique lens on the vision shared. This is the initial email which was the spark to begin the process.
The 3 of us then just leapt in. As a result of our unchecked enthusiasm, we immediately called a meeting of perceived thought leaders. The aim was to launch a focus group looking to gain an insight to the needs and desires of future focused learning in Hawke's Bay.
As stated in our introduction, change leadership of this magnitude requires a well-defined and transparent roadmap to success. We clearly had not done this, and became uncomfortable with our inability to effectively communicate a plan to others.
Exposure to the Lean Canvas during the MindLab course provided us with the tool to shape our thinking, plan a course of action, and to have a visual framework to work from.
This is the first draft of the Lean Canvas. We expect this to be a working and evolving document. We have divided concepts and solutions into 6-month plan as well as an ultimate plan. We have also made distinctions between potential contributors and customers, as well as a distinction between the 6-month goal and the ultimate goal throughout the plan.
Our customers and contributors make up the major stakeholder group. They represent the Hawke's Bay community as a whole and the children within it. The potential benefits to our community, both social and economic, can be realised in the effective collaboration of the contributors listed. Of all the contributors listed, we managed to attract a representative from each of those to our initial meeting.
We have identified the early adopters to be our fellow MindLab colleagues, a number of existing local champion schools, and EIT strategic staff and management.
After consulting with Tim Gander from the MindLab Gisborne, we gained considerable insight and direction from his experience leading the Gisborne City of Learning initiative. From this, we are considering these channels to be effective means to lead and engage our focus group to create solutions for the problems posed.
The key metrics of the 6-month goal will be participation numbers of our focus group, which includes early adopters, as well as the engagement of champions of the potential contributor group. As leaders, we facilitated and promoted the MindLab postgraduate as a credible pathway to further developing, consolidating, future-focused thinking through initial contact and community meetings.
Here is the general plan we have undertaken to make our change initiative a reality. The points highlighted in red have already been actioned.
Only time will tell if this is the correct roadmap to assist in the connectivity of our community, or as the Matariki plan suggests, an alignment of the stars.